Two of the biggest sports stars in the world, yourself and Caitlin Clark. Describe this atmosphere.
It's crazy. I mean, that first tee was something out of a book almost. But it's so fun. It's cool to see how many people she brings together to another sport, and it's fun to hang out with her. She's super cool. You know, we saw each other actually last week at an outing, yeah, I mean, it's nice to be alongside greats. I mean, even her teammates are super fun, so it's been a blast so far.
The LPGA just showed the WNBA exactly how to treat a superstar, and it happened in one single day. Caitlin Clark stepped onto the golf course and received more respect from complete strangers than she got all season from her own league. Golf legends fell over themselves praising her, while WNBA players stayed silent. The difference is embarrassing. Before we get into this, let me know in the comments. Should Caitlin Clark consider switching sports permanently after the way she's been treated? Caitlin Clark walked onto that golf course, and something magical happened. The LPGA did in 24 hours what the WNBA couldn't manage in an entire season. They made her feel valued. They made her feel appreciated. They treated her like the generational talent she actually is. And honestly, it's pathetic that it took a completely different sport to show the basketball world how this should have been done. From day one,
Cambridge and the LPGA Tour are so smart in doing this because they pair up Caitlin Clark with Nelly Korda, who was the #1 player in the world until this summer. She suffered an injury. And Lauren Wynn, who is also playing on a sponsor's exemption, just turned pro. She was a 2-time All-American at Northwestern. So not only are people going to see Caitlin Clark and get to enjoy that and all the buzz around it, but they're also going to see the product itself, which are these professional female golfers like Nelly Korda, like the future of the game in Lauren Wynn. So it's a really smart way to tie it all together. Caitlin Clark brought a couple of her teammates, Lexi Hall and Sophie Cunningham, to be her honorary caddies. Golf is fully leaning into bringing these celebs in, and it's awesome for where the sport's headed.
Nelly Korda, one of the best golfers on the planet, didn't just acknowledge Caitlin. She went out of her way to make her feel welcome. She spent time with her. She messaged her beforehand on Instagram. She treated her like a colleague, like someone worth knowing. This is the same respect Caitlin should have gotten from WNBA veterans, but rarely did. Instead of cold shoulders and bitter comments about attention, Caitlin got warmth and genuine excitement from the golf community. Korda specifically mentioned how amazing it was to see Caitlin's influence on people firsthand. That's called recognizing greatness when you see it. The WNBA should take notes.
How do you think you would do in a pro-am basketball game with Caitlin?
Bad. I occasionally play pig, and I lose every single time. It takes me a long time to really get warmed up. But actually, Caitlin and I were messaging. She's like, this is unfair. Like, I need to take you to the basketball court. Like, why are we always on a golf course? So maybe one day, but it's pretty bad. I would definitely like to use some pointers. I don't know if it's like the shot. I think it'll be more of like the movement for me.
Nelly, like any youngster, right to Instagram. This is her Instagram story. Go Indiana Fever. Lexi, Sophie, and Caitlin. What a photo. A lot of star power in Bel Air outside of Tampa at the Annika.
Then there's Annika Sorenstam, an absolute legend who organized the entire tournament. She personally thanked Caitlin for coming despite her packed schedule. She acknowledged what Caitlin has done for women and girls in sports. She called her an inspiration and a motivation. Annika didn't have to do any of that. Caitlin wasn't even playing professional golf. But Annika understood something fundamental that the WNBA still doesn't get. When someone elevates your sport, you celebrate them. You don't tear them down out of jealousy. Maria Fassi, a talented golfer from Mexico, literally walked up to Caitlin just to introduce herself and thank her for what she's doing for sports. Let that sink in. A professional athlete from a completely different sport went out of her way to show gratitude to Caitlin. She told her she was kicking ass. That's genuine support. That's what athletes lifting each other up actually looks like. Meanwhile, back in the WNBA, players were complaining about her fans being too loud or getting too much media attention. The contrast couldn't be more obvious.
Inspired by me, just hitting them straight back.
Yeah, I need to stop spending time with you.
I actually kind of figured it out when we played last week.
Yeah? And then what happened?
Well, I haven't played since I was there that day.
Oh, really?
Dude, it was snowing. It was,
Oh.
there was like 4 inches on the ground in Indianapolis.
That's so nice.
I've been chilling. I've been actually doing this thing called basketball. That takes up a lot of my time.
Spend time in the gym, is that what happened on the first 2 holes? That's why you hit your putts too far?
Dude, seriously.
The Golf Channel absolutely ran with Caitlin's appearance. They didn't just cover it. They moved their entire broadcast schedule up by 90 minutes just to show her playing. They invested serious airtime discussing not just her participation, but the future opportunities for collaboration between Caitlin and the LPGA. They saw potential. They saw partnership possibilities. They saw a chance to grow women's golf by working with someone who brings massive attention wherever she goes. The WNBA had this same opportunity handed to them on a silver platter and completely fumbled it. The broadcast team talked openly about how this could be a mutually beneficial relationship that elevates women's sports overall. They weren't threatened by her. They weren't worried she'd take attention away from their golfers. They understood basic economics and marketing. Caitlin Clark brings eyeballs, and eyeballs bring money, sponsors, and growth. The WNBA spent an entire season acting like Caitlin's popularity was somehow a problem to be managed, rather than an asset to be leveraged.
So it's been fun.
Good. And how awesome is it too to be able to play with Nelly and kind of take some tips and tidbits from her, because obviously she's incredible, unreal.
Yeah, I mean, I've played a few rounds with her now, so it's always fun getting to be out here and like getting to see what she does really best up close. Like that's always fun to see what somebody like works at their craft, you know, every single day to be really good at it. And, you know, she's just fun to be around. So we're definitely having some fun.
Caitlin shared how she got into golf in the first place, and her story is genuinely sweet. She asked for golf clubs for her birthday and got a cute little pink set, nothing fancy, just something from a local store. But that's how it started. Her dad played a little and she fell in love with the game. Eventually, she upgraded to proper clubs and kept playing. It's such a normal, relatable story about finding a passion outside your main sport. And the golf community embraced that story. They didn't gatekeep. They didn't tell her to stay in her lane. They welcomed her. Rachel DeMita, the TV host and analyst, put out a video breaking down exactly what the LPGA got right and what the WNBA got catastrophically wrong. She pointed out that this Pro-Am event wasn't even supposed to be televised. Fans had to email the organization begging for a way to watch Caitlin play. The demand was so intense that they changed their plans and put it on television. That's organic interest. That's real star power. And the LPGA recognized it and acted on it. DeMita highlighted something crucial. At this golf event, nobody complained about Caitlin getting too much attention. Nobody whined about her fans being toxic. Nobody suggested the spotlight should be more evenly distributed among the professional golfers. All of those complaints that plagued the WNBA season were completely absent from the golf tournament. Why? Because the LPGA professionals understood that Caitlin's presence was helping them, not hurting them. They got more viewers, more media coverage, more social media engagement. Everybody won. The WNBA, in contrast, spent the entire season trying to balance Caitlin's fame with everyone else's, as if success is a zero-sum game. They acted like giving Caitlin proper recognition would somehow diminish other players. That's such a scarcity mindset. The golf community operated from abundance. They understood that a rising tide lifts all boats. When Caitlin succeeds and gets attention, it brings more people to women's golf. Those new fans might discover other amazing golfers they'd never heard of. That's how growth works. Brittany Lincecum, another professional golfer, called Caitlin a total game changer, not just for basketball but for women's sports as a whole. She emphasized Caitlin's ability to bring fresh energy and new audiences wherever she goes. This wasn't performative praise. This was genuine recognition from one elite athlete to another. It's the kind of respect that pushes athletes to be their best. The WNBA needs to understand that proper recognition and support isn't optional. It's essential for keeping top talent motivated and valued. Even Steph Curry weighed in on Caitlin's golf appearance. Curry, who's well known for his love of golf and regularly participates in celebrity tournaments, praised Caitlin's multi-sport talent. He acknowledged her ability to captivate audiences whether she's on a basketball court or a golf course. His respect echoed what the entire golf community was saying. Here's someone who understands what it's like to be a transcendent talent, and he recognized another one when he saw it. Then Tiger Woods spoke up. Tiger freaking Woods. One of the greatest athletes in any sport, ever. He was genuinely impressed with Caitlin's involvement in the tournament. He talked about her impact, her athletic ability, and her talent for generating excitement around whatever sport she touches. Tiger said he got a basketball, hoping Caitlin would sign it for his daughters. He praised her swing and said, "She has real potential as a golfer." When Tiger Woods is asking for your autograph, you know you've made an impact. Tiger's endorsement wasn't just a casual comment. It was a powerful statement about Caitlin's reach beyond basketball. He specifically mentioned what she's done for women's sports and basketball, calling it awesome to have her at a golf tournament. He was in awe. This is someone who's seen every type of athlete, every level of talent, and he was impressed. The fact that the WNBA hasn't given Caitlin this same level of respect and admiration is genuinely embarrassing for the league. There was some weird controversy involving Gino Auriemma making allegedly disrespectful comments about Caitlin's golf participation, but many people questioned whether that video was even legitimate. The footage appeared heavily edited, and many of his supposed comments seemed to be recycled from a previous Dan Patrick Show appearance from June. The video had obvious manipulation signs, which sparked debate about whether the whole thing was fabricated just to create drama. Regardless of whether that particular controversy was real, it highlighted the ongoing conversation about how Caitlin's activities outside basketball are perceived. What's fascinating is that no legitimate golf professionals had any problem with Caitlin participating. None of them felt disrespected. None of them thought she was taking opportunities away from real golfers. They understood she was there as a celebrity participant who would bring massive attention to their sport. That's a win for everyone involved. The supposed controversy only existed in the minds of people looking for reasons to criticize Caitlin, which has become an unfortunate pattern. The social media response to Caitlin's golf appearance was overwhelmingly positive. Posts, live streams, clips, and commentary flooded every platform. People who'd never watched women's golf were suddenly tuning in just to see Caitlin play. The Golf Channel's decision to start their broadcast 90 minutes early was completely justified by the engagement they received. This is what happens when you properly promote a star athlete. You create buzz, you generate interest, and you bring new audiences to your sport. Rachel Demita made another crucial point in her analysis. The WNBA's hesitation to fully embrace Caitlin's star power was a massive missed opportunity. Instead of promoting her as the generational talent she is, the league seemed cautious, almost reluctant to give her the spotlight she'd earned. This wasn't about fairness to other players. This was about the league's inability to recognize and capitalize on lightning in a bottle. The LPGA had no such hesitation. They saw an opportunity and seized it immediately. The tournament organizers, the broadcast team, the professional golfers, and even legends like Tiger Woods all understood what Caitlin brings: attention, excitement, new fans, and growth potential. The WNBA had access to all of this and chose to treat it like a problem instead of an asset. They worried about other players' feelings instead of focusing on growing the league. They prioritized internal politics over external growth. That's how you squander a once-in-a-generation opportunity. What makes this situation even more frustrating is that Caitlin has never asked for special treatment. She's never demanded attention or complained about not getting enough recognition. She just plays her game, works hard, and tries to be the best athlete she can be. The golf community recognized that humility and rewarded it with genuine respect and support. The WNBA, meanwhile, has players and media figures constantly questioning whether she deserves the attention she gets, as if her record-breaking performances weren't enough proof. The LPGA showed that celebrating a star athlete doesn't diminish anyone else. When Annika Sorenstam praised Caitlin, it didn't make Annika less of a legend. When Nelly Korda spent time with Caitlin and expressed excitement about her influence, it didn't reduce Nelly's accomplishments. When Tiger Woods asked for Caitlin's autograph, it didn't make him less of a golf icon. Greatness. Recognizing greatness elevates everyone involved. That's what the WNBA fails to understand. The broadcast coverage itself was a masterclass in how to handle a celebrity athlete participating in your sport. The commentators focused on Caitlin's genuine love for golf, her competitive spirit, and her willingness to try something outside her comfort zone. They didn't manufacture controversy. They didn't create artificial narratives about whether she belonged there or whether golf fans should be upset about the attention she was getting. They just covered her participation as the positive story it was. This entire experience highlighted something we already knew, but the WNBA refuses to acknowledge. Caitlin Clark is special. Not just good, not just talented, but genuinely special in a way that comes around maybe once every couple decades. She has the ability to make people care about women's sports who never cared before. She brings casual fans, converts them into dedicated followers, and generates the kind of mainstream attention that women's sports have been desperately seeking for years. The golf community got it immediately. They didn't need months of debate or think pieces analyzing whether Caitlin's popularity was legitimate or deserved. They saw her impact, recognized her value, and welcomed her with open arms. The WNBA spent an entire season questioning, analyzing, and often undermining the very thing they should have been celebrating. The league allowed jealousy, politics, and small-minded thinking to prevent them from properly supporting their brightest star. Looking at how the LPGA handled Caitlin's appearance versus how the WNBA has handled her entire career, the difference is staggering. One league saw opportunity and potential. The other saw a problem to be managed. One league celebrated her achievements. The other constantly qualified them with reminders about other players' contributions. One league made her feel valued and appreciated. The other made her feel like her success was somehow controversial. The LPGA gave us a blueprint for how to treat a generational talent. The WNBA has no excuse anymore. If you're tired of watching leagues waste incredible athletes, smash that like button, subscribe if you want more truth about what's really happening in women's sports. Drop a comment telling me whether Caitlin should just switch to golf permanently.